All right, so I have been wanting to do a few other types of well, not really replays, but this is what this is. But I've been wanting to kind of like do a little bit more variety on the channel, even though my thing is destroyers and it always will be. I did want to, have a little bit of like other stuff on there, even if it's just the basics. So this is obviously a replay. This is obviously not my replay. This is a replay that was sent to be my royal in his Gambia. And what the hold on, what the fuck is this captain for one thing? But also, Royal is of course a lot smarter than me, so he's going to explain what happens because I have baboon brain here.
Well, everybody has bamboo brain.
I said
That's just the player
baboon.
base of this game.
I said
Well,
baboon brain, you fucking pillock. But whatever.
retard,
Anyway,
you mean?
anyway, uh, matchmaking, there's plenty of 16-inch guns, 15-inch guns. Uh, there's actually 6 battleships to farm, that's fun. A Belfast radar, and then a Farragut. I'm not even going to try and pronounce that, and a Nicholas, and a T-22. No carrier, no subs, you'll love to see that.
Yeah, the only radar on their team is that Belfast, the OG Belfast.
Yeah. So what are
Uh,
you looking at here?
so Gambia new dockyard ship. It's basically Fiji with HE and short burst smoke. So it's just better Fiji. Um, so with the you actually mentioned it not too long ago on your channel about why you don't like playing smoke farming DDs.
Yep.
It's similar for me with cruisers. I don't like playing smoke farm cruisers. Uh, but at least a short burst on the Gambia allows you to like take the 30-second engagement and then just be dark, and then
Yeah.
wait for your cooldown.
Yeah.
Uh, so
Speaking
what we're
of burst
looking at,
smokes, your Icarus ran into the cap, face checked a destroyer, and immediately smoked up. You'll love to see that.
yeah, pretty good.
You're headed out here where there's basically no spotting. That's a choice. No,
Well,
somebody has to go out here, but your Farragut and your Icarus are both going for the cap, and they're probably going to get stalled out by that one destroyer.
yeah, what I'm hoping here is that the Nagato that's gonna be behind me is gonna keep spotting these guys, because you notice I wait to smoke up until their
Just,
Nagato shot,
yep,
just so that he stays spotted.
yeah. And then I would have shot at that Belfast right there. That's a light cruiser. You could really get some good licks in on him.
Yeah, he was spotted for such a short amount of time that it really
I mean, if
wasn't.
memory serves, the Belfast, of course, like I just said, is a light cruiser, but it also doesn't get a heal, unlike you. So any damage that you would have done to him, even if it's only like one 5k salvo, that's 5k health that he's not going to have for the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's permanent damage on him. He has the smoke radar gimmick, where I have the smoke heal gimmick.
Yep.
Um, Also, Belfast is extremely light cruiser, like I am.
Yep.
I think it's the same hull. It's the town class hull.
Yeah, it
So
checks out. Oh, incoming
right here,
balance.
no, not really. You can bounce shells with this hull. It's just difficult, and you have to be
Yeah.
extremely good at the game
Or
to
just
actually do
lucky.
it effectively. Yep. More than not, it's luck with this ship.
Yeah, I mean, I think we
Smoking here
saw.
just to disengage.
Yeah, we think we
Yeah.
saw a few seconds ago. One of the shells. I think from that Nagato. Where's the fucking painter? Hold on. Fucking select, please. Hello. Okay, but whatever. Uh, we saw on the. You bounced like a shell off the belt, like right around there.
Yeah. You can definitely bounce shells with the British light cruisers. it's extremely difficult to do it consistently, especially when there's multiple BBs shooting at you,
Yeah.
which is one of the reasons I smoke here. Just give myself a little bit of time to kind of reset.
Yeah. And how you like so this is a obviously a very heavy kite side uh on where you are. There's up to 2 destroyers that you don't know exactly where they are. There's 3 battleships and a cruiser, so actually there could be up to 3 destroyers, and there's a Gneisenau heading this direction as well, so very, very kite side. So what are you looking at right about now?
So in this build with Gambia, I had RPF on it, which is
Yeah.
helping me kind of discern where the DD is. So I know that it's either him or the Belfast, right? We don't know because Belfast hasn't been. Well, there he goes. He just
Yeah.
got lit for a little bit
Yeah.
there. But up until then, I didn't really know if it was DD or Belfast. But you can see the RPF indicator, so I kind of know where the DD is. So I'm angling for the torps coming in. And then because it's such kite side, I'm trying to keep my gun bloom out of as many ships as possible.
Yeah.
So the reason why that's important is because if that DD is to move away and I need to go dark, let's say I kill the New York and then I'll go dark because there's nothing to spot me because my gun bloom
The
isn't.
the Colorado is in your gun bloom now. Uh, but the problem that you're facing is that you have no destroyers left on this side to spot for you. So looking at that, how are you going to deal with that?
Well, so because BB gun bloom is so big, I can bait them into shooting before I use my short burst smoke. Um, Also, you were seeing it quite a bit. I was just open watering,
Yeah.
like saying ass in, only using my rear 2 guns, just trying to minimize the surface area of my ship exposed to those battleships, especially because pretty much everything over there overmatches.
I don't think that the New York would because I think that's 14-inch guns and he's shooting HE, but yeah, your point stands.
Yeah. Here, because they've backed off so much because our team has made progress on the other side of the map, I'm using the opportunity to turn in, the opportunity that I was dark, turning in, and then I'm gonna go towards the cap because I know that both of those DDs are down there, and then the Belfast gets spotted right there.
Y-
So I'm gonna be looking to counter him and then try to pick off those 2 DDs. Uh,
Yeah,
Probably using the Hydro and the Island.
you are pretty substantially lower health than the Belfast, so I don't know how effective of a counter you're going to be to him.
It depends on how he plays and how I play, but how I was thinking at the time is if I at least get close enough to the cap to where I can use my smoke to disengage at will, keep him outside of the 6 kilometers that I need to for my smoke fire, that I can pretty easily kill him if he gets spotted by something, or um, maybe I catch him broadside trying to greed for DD or something.
I mean, you don't really have many DDs left for him to greed for. There's a Farragut in your mouth, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that at the time. The reason I'm not turning my guns for him immediately is because he is behind that island.
Yeah.
Um, I'm also trying to finish the New York kill because at this point, um, the New York, he's the lower health target. We've been farming him forever. And since the Farragut is behind the island and I'm running Hydro now, if he comes out, I'm gonna spot him.
I mean, you're spotted now. There's
Yep.
there's his smoke right there.
Yeah, I'm spotted because of my gun
Uh,
bloom,
yeah.
so I'm just backing up. Um, you notice the two BBs that are unspotted. those are going to be an issue for me, especially because light cruiser
Uh,
armor.
oh, what?
Yeah.
Well,
Speaking
oh,
of Farragut problems.
uh, well, I don't know what his game plan is, but it's not a good one.
No, not at all.
Well, okay. We take those, I guess. These, these are some very poor life decisions right there.
Yeah. Notice as soon as the torps passed, I angled to both of the battleships.
Yeah.
So, um,
For a given value of angling again in a super light cruiser against 16-inch guns.
um, I mean, it makes you a smaller target for them to hit. Easier
Yeah.
for you to dodge their incoming salvos too. Also, you can kind of greed with the British acceleration, like I do quite a bit.
Yeah, the flip side to that is if they do hit, they're less likely to overpen because they're raking you and they're going down the
Yeah,
length of your ship. So it is a bit of a double-edged sword. It's a narrower profile, but any shows that do hit are more likely to do pen damage. So sticks and stones, I guess.
yeah. Um, Now the Belfast is low health. He was last spotted on like third.
Yeah. There's
So
also
I'm
a
gonna try.
destroyer. I presume that's the destroyer in A.
Yeah, 100%. So the DD is an A. We know that. My Hydro is unfortunately on cooldown for another minute. So I'm kind of gonna have to make it work. Now, to be fair, with the position my team is in, I don't actually need to push it, but you notice the Belfast right there. I'm gonna
Yeah.
greed for the DD because, well, destroyer. You should probably shoot destroyers 90% of the time when they're up. And then now
I
that Belfast comes out, he
Yeah,
just
I honestly think like this is just me. Destroyers are always a good target, but there are certain things that we call on this channel other problems. And a Belfast in your mouth at 5 kilometers definitely counts as other problems, but he donated, so uh okay.
yeah. Also, the thought process there is because he was still on smoke when the DD came up, turn the guns, get a couple salvos on, and wait for him to come out of smoke.
Yeah.
That way you're a little bit more effective. I could have blind fired him,
I mean, you were
but
already spotted anyway, and then you ended up spotting him via his gun bloom, and you still shot at the destroyer, which I get your guns were facing in that direction, but I think you could have gone for the Belfast a little sooner. But he's dead and you're not, so what am I gonna say?
only like the fifth best Gambia player on the server.
Yeah, 1100 PR by the way.
That's because Ouija numbers doesn't know how to calculate PR correctly.
But
There's not enough games.
anyway, now that there's only one destroyer left on the enemy team. You're just going to walk at him,
Yeah, basically. Walk at him with Hydro up.
and he's just
I'm gonna
going
do
to
funny,
he's just going to kite away to the end of the map.
yeah, he's gonna run away.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that
do funny
figures.
blind firing with the RPF. Because it would be hilarious if I got one shell on him and killed him.
Yeah.
But, you know.
So, that was a game, certainly a game. Your Scharnhorst did work, but that's also has more to do with the enemy being idiots than a lot of other things. But I digress. He still had a good game, so whatever. Why did you choose this particular replay to send me?
Uh, fighting fighting an overwhelming force, like Kiteside,
Yep.
is difficult and hard to explain how to do to people. So maybe a little bit of visualization.
Yeah, like the main thing
Like
right here
you
is just A, dealing with having suboptimal spotting. and B, how to play a kite side. The number one thing that I see a lot of people get wrong on kite sides is that they need to understand that the goal of kite side is to delay, not destroy. And what I mean by that is you being there, even though all you really did in effect was just farm a New York for a little while and maybe get some chip damage on a couple of other things, at least up until towards the end where the Farragut and the Belfast kind of donated. But uh, all you really did was just sit there and farm a little bit, but that was enough because your goal is not to destroy them, it's just to buy enough time for your team to walk around the opposite side of the map and then pincher them, which is basically what ended up happening because your team kind of swept the other side of the map and the enemy team was forced to either choose between continuing their push while basically getting crossfired, or they have to retreat and move their forces back to meet your own team, in which case you can do what you did and move back in to reapply that same pressure and turn your basically flip your kite side into a push side almost.
Yeah, a lot of people also run away way too fast.
Yeah.
Um, you
Over
notice
kiting
there,
is a thing.
yeah, overkiting is a big issue that a lot of people have. You notice if you go back and watch, you'll notice how I try to keep. Gambia has 15.3 main battery range. I try to keep people in the 14 kilometer to 15 kilometer range when kiting, specifically because I already touched on it a little bit, but the gun bloom being able to run away and then get out of that and
Yeah.
go dark for free without using smoke, that's huge.
I mean
Um,
that's good in theory, but just keep in mind with in this at least in this particular instance, there were so many unspotted ships. There was like multiple destroyers. There was a Belfast that you really had no way of really knowing exactly where they were. So you trying to count on your gun bloom to be able to go down after killing one ship is not something you can rely on. That can be done when you know for sure, like for absolute fact, that there's nothing else that can spot you. Like maybe this destroyer, the only destroyer on this side, has already died, or the only destroyer in the game is spotted on the opposite side of the map, or something like that. Or maybe the enemy team is also over kiting, and there's only like two ships in your range. Like stuff like that does happen, but that's just it's good to keep in the back of your mind, but it's probably not something that you can rely on 100% of the time.
no, don't rely on it 100% of the time. That's why ships like Gambia are good for it, because you've got the short burst smoke. Uh, I've basically described this as mini Svei without the radar.
Pretty much.
So you
Yeah.
shoot HE at things, burn them down over time, stay alive, don't int into enemy torps.
Yeah.
Like, notice the entire time how I'm angling to the RPF for the torps,
Yep.
and then using the British acceleration to kind of dodge the battleship salvos.
And then the other thing that I just need to point out real quick is that no matter what you are in, no matter how bad the enemy team might be or the players you think are trash, you have to respect the threats. Like it does not matter if you're fighting a 40 percenter, a 60 percenter, or a reroll or whatever. A threat, all it needs to do is hit you once to end you. Even though that was a New York firing HE pretty much the entire time, all that needed to happen was you get cocky once, thinking he's going to shoot HE, he switches to AP and deletes you. Threats need to be respected, no matter what they are, how bad you think they are, because all they need to do is hit you once.
Yeah, that's
And
what a lot of people fail at.
yeah,
They
they
think, oh, this person has shot HE the last 3 times. Let me turn broadside. Gets deleted.
Yeah, and you see this all the time with like farming destroyers like Marceaus and Gdansk trying to farm Schlieffens in the open. That's not a winning play. Like yes, Schlieffen is a fucking stupid battleship. Yes, its superstructure is massive and it eats HE, fire, and even AP damage like a bitch. But its secondaries are very annoying, to say the absolute minimum. You have to respect that threat that they pose. No matter how good you think you are, your ship is, how bad you think the enemy is, you have to respect the threat. Because if you don't, you're going to pay for it.
Yeah.
And like similarly, like, let's pretend that this New York was an Iowa, for example, you probably wouldn't have been trying to open water him as much as you were.
No, definitely not. Especially because Iowa just overmatches
Yeah,
absolutely everywhere. New
yeah,
York, I can at least bounce his shells. Iowa, no chance.
yeah, and
I
that's
think
again,
16 is the limit.
yeah, and again, that's one of those things that like when a ship poses a threat to you, you have to respect that threat. Even if it's not a guarantee. Like an Iowa, if it shoots you, is not, even though it can overmatch you, it's not guaranteed to overmatch you. So you have to play around that. And if it happens, that kind of sucks. But if it doesn't, then that's your sign that you did something right. Or you got lucky.
Yeah,
One of the two.
a lot of people get lucky.
But
Um,
is there
but
any? Go on.
one other thing that we should point out is that this game takes a lot of time to learn all the other ships and like what they can and cannot do to you. So a lot of playing kite side especially is learning like what the enemy has at their disposal that they can use against you, like all of the ship consumables, how long their radars are, how big the hydro is, how long the hydro lasts, if they have torpedoes or not.
You know,
um,
that doesn't even apply to exclusively kite side. That's just like the game in general.
yeah.
But yeah, is there anything else you want to say, or is that about it?
No, that's it.
All right. Anything else that you want to close the replay off with? Anyone you want to shit talk? That sort of thing.
um, I want to shit talk my team because I'm the only because I have a 42% win rate in Gambia, yet I'm number 4 in the server.
That
So
sounds
thanks
sound
team.
yeah, sounds to me like you need to carry more. Hurricane players should be able to carry.
Yeah, I should carry harder.